Hey, I'm Pastor Jarrett.
And I'm Pastor Mike here with our Moriah Moment.
So, Mike, let me ask you this.
Sure.
This is episode 1 of Moriah Moment.
It is, episode 1.
And this is for people that are traveling or just need a quick daily devotion.
Yeah, quickly dated devotion.
Okay, so let me ask you this. We'll start off with a question then.
Okay.
What's been on your mind? What's been going on with you lately?
Oh, man, it's crazy nuts. I mean, we just got done with the fifth quarters that were crazy getting all that together. Quest, our youth group, is expanding beyond what I expected.
Oh, yeah, I think,
and God has been blessing us left and right. And really, honestly, you know, it's been pretty crazy.
So what's one of the big things, what's one of the big obstacles you had to overcome for the fifth quarters?
Well, to be honest, probably volunteers is the biggest thing. Getting people to help was the biggest thing. And obviously building-wise, but the school pulled through on that. But there was still stress involved with that.
Oh, absolutely.
But I think making sure that we had the volunteers in place to get that taken care of.
And I know one thing early on that we both kind of struggled with was who's going to show up?
Yeah, well, there's obviously that. There's obviously the unknown of, what if 5 kids show up,
What if 105 kids show up?
Exactly. We had no clue. And if we think about the Facebook post when we first put it out, there was like 300 shares in like one day. So we were really definitely in an unknown, and definitely caused stress on that too, because you're just constantly moving, constantly working.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I think, for a lot of people, especially nowadays, especially for working moms, working dads, having to work, and then kids in travel sports.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. The travel ball that's going on, and the sports that go on with that.
It never stops.
It doesn't. It just you go from one thing to the next.
Yeah, and it really kind of surprised me. Of course, both my kids were into sports.
Right. Where mine was not.
Yeah, gymnastics was all year round, and then CrossFit and Olympic weightlifting were all year round. So I understand a little bit, but it seems like tournaments and ball games and different coaches and different teammates,
it's a lot to juggle, isn't it?
Oh,
it's a ton to juggle. And we're going to be here this weekend, and we're going to be here this weekend, and you got to get motels taken care of.
Food.
It's a constant thing.
Yeah.
It's right in front of you at all times.
And so I just remember being stressed out as a parent. Trust me, I'm still stressed out as a parent at times.
I am too.
I was going to say, your son being in the Marine Corps, that's a whole different stressor.
It's a little bit different.
But one thing that always brought me comfort, and this is a verse, I know if you're familiar with the Bible, people are going to be like, I know that verse. But to really think about Matthew 11:28, come to me all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest.
Correct.
And I think the big word is of course, rest.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
But we often think of rest as kind of like taking a nap. But if you read a little bit further, Jesus wants, to take upon his yoke.
Yes.
And I think we miss that sometimes when we think about rest. Is what Jesus is asking us to do is to come into him.
Yeah.
And, let him guide us.
Right.
And that's what helps take some of that pressure off.
It absolutely is. And when we think about that, maybe it seems a little foreign to us with the term of yoke today.
Yeah.
But to when he was speaking in biblical times, it was totally understandable that you got 2 oxen.
Yep.
And if they don't work together, it's never going to happen. And he's saying, you need to work with me. Let me take this up. Take on my yoke so that I can help lead you and give you that rest, because if you're trying to fight all the time, think how tiring that was if one oxen's trying to fight the other one. Whereas if you take up his yoke and he's fighting with you, it becomes easier, and that rest is there.
Yeah, and I just think that's important when we think about that in the grand scheme of looking as you guys travel, as you guys are out and about in different communities and stuff like that. Just think, God is there, and he wants to take that stress away from you. He never made us to shoulder all of that.
No, he didn't. He did not. First of all, we can't.
Yeah, very true.
We can't. And the other thing that I would say along with that is, when we do come to him and we do ask for rest, and he gives us that, don't then pick the burdens right back up.
Very true. Very true.
Leave it with him. Let him take it. Don't pick that burden right back up and go again. You've given it to him. Let him take it.
And maybe it's one of those things too of, have that listening heart and have that listening ear. If God's telling you to drop something, Sometimes you have to
we
drop
don't
it.
like to relinquish control.
Well,
though.
this is true. This is
And
very
so
true.
We fight that really hard.
Yeah, so that's just something that always helped me, you know, talking about the stress of the fifth course. That always helped me. But you know what? I think you have a great challenge.
Yeah, I do. I think that the biggest thing is that's what we think.
That is what we think, yeah.
But what's really important is, what do you think?